Hey yogis, welcome to day 3. Let's see. I'm filming in a different location today, partially out of necessity and partially out of just like authenticity. So this is my bedroom, well, part of my bedroom, and so my bed is right here, and realistically, if I wanted to just like keep my mat upstairs and then make it easy on myself and just get out of bed and hit my mat in the morning, if I was having a difficult time getting started on my practice every day, I could totally do that. So one thing about me, I'm very real. I don't want people to think that it's difficult to start a yoga practice. I don't want people to think that it has to be, you have to have this dedicated space and it has to be this, huge area and it has to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect. Part of my whole vision and mission is to help make yoga as accessible and appealing as possible to as many people as possible. So accessibility sometimes means you have like just enough space to roll out your mat, but as long as you have this to work on, you can make it happen. So that kind of ties into our practice today. So today for day 3, we're going to be working on our solar plexus and kind of activating that area, which deals with self-worth, willpower, persistence. So where you practice yoga has nothing to do with, what should I say, the value or the worth of it. So your goal is not to find like the most aesthetically pleasing studio or the most, what do you want to say, like hyped up teacher. It's about the practice and about internally the changes and things that are happening in your body personally, in your mind, your emotions. So having said all that, welcome to my bedroom. So today we're going to be working, like I said, on self-worth, willpower, and, persistence. And so our positive affirmation for today is, I am worthy of anything and everything I could possibly imagine, and I have the tools to work towards those goals. So we're going to start with plank pose. Okay, so plank, we can do a couple of different ways. And this is really nice because everything that we're doing today is pretty much on the floor. So plank pose is hands under your shoulders, feet pushing back towards the back wall behind you or window or whatever. Now, this is pretty much traditional plank. Our body's in alignment, a straight line from head to toe or head to heel, and you could do it totally like this up here, or you can come down to your knees, or you can be on your forearms. That's how we do it in the Army, right? Whichever is most comfortable to you. And the goal of plank pose is to start that internal fire in our core, to activate that core. Solar plexus rests in our core. So we were just trying to initiate, get some heat going to activate that area. So whichever version of plank works for you, we're going to come up into plank and we're going to be breathing, of course, in through our nose, out through our nose. And just holding. Shaking is normal. Coming out of it and going back into it is normal. You're not held hostage in any pose. Okay? So we're just going to be here for a couple of breaths. Slowly come down to our knees. Stretch back a little bit. And then we're going to come on to our backs for bridge pose. Now, while we're doing these poses, bridge, we're going to have our feet on the ground, knees up, roll back. While we're doing these poses, I want you to be thinking about things that you may have not felt worthy of participating in or venturing off to do, or you know, just or someone that made you feel like you were not worthy. I want you to kind of think about those things so that we can burn them off in this heat that we're generating in our core, okay? So, bridge. Feet are planted on the floor, knees are up. I want you to bring your heels as close to your buttocks as you can. We're going to roll our shoulders down so they're away from our ears. Our arms are going to be at our sides, and we're going to slowly push up. Now, you can keep your hands at your sides, or I was taught to grasp my hands underneath my buttocks and kind of hold here. So while we're here, I want you to envision a small little fire burning right around your belly button, solar plexus area, core area. And all those experiences that you've had where you felt not worthy or not good enough, I want you to imagine them being consumed by that little fire, okay? If you've ever been with somebody who made you feel like you weren't good enough or held you in a state of comparison, imagine that all just being consumed by that little fire that you're creating in your solar plexus. We're going to be here for a couple breaths. Okay, I'm going to slowly lower down. And we're going to lift back up. On the inhale, lower on the exhale. I'm going to do about 3 more of these at your own pace. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more, inhale up, exhale down. All right, so we're activating that area, getting a little fire going. We're going to slowly come up, and then we're going to move into bicycle. So bicycle, you probably maybe have done this in school. I don't know any place else but the Army that maybe does it, but maybe. You're going to come back down onto your backs. Your feet are going to come up. You're going to be in a 90-degree angle. You're going to clasp your hands behind your head or your neck, and you're going to take your right elbow to meet your left knee and back. Left elbow to right knee and back. And we're just going to alternate. We're going to inhale on the kick out, exhale, back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You should feel that in your core. It's not fast. It's just steady. We do 2 more on each side. Okay. And then we're going to slowly lower all the way to the ground. And we're going to do some leg lifts. So on the inhale, we're going to lift our right leg. We're going to keep our toes pointed, keep that in mind. We're going to slowly lift our right leg on the inhale. Exhale, lower. And then we're going to lift left leg. Exhale, lower. And we're just going to alternate those. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. We're just going to do a few more rounds on our own. Just working those lower abs. And keeping that little fire burning in our mind's eye. Okay. 2 more on each side. Okay, and then from here, we're going to scoot back a little bit. I'm a little bit off my mat. We're going to do some simple crunches. So hands behind your head, laced, and we're just going to slowly roll up. Inhale, exhale. You can keep your feet flexed. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and then we're going to do 5 more on our own at your own pace. Inhaling on the up, exhaling as you lower. Two more for me. And exhale. And then we're going to slowly come up. All right, so from here, we're going to do some recline twist. Twists are a great way to not only activate that solar plexus area, but it also helps to kind of detox our organs. It gets our spine moving more subtly in different directions. That's not the word I want. The word I want is spinal flexion. That's not just up and down, but it's side to side. So that's really good. So we're going to lay back down. And what we're going to do, we're going to straighten out our legs. We're going to bring our right knee up to our chest, and we're going to cross it over our left leg. The goal is to keep your right shoulder on the ground, and then you can straighten that right leg out. Mine is up against the wall, so it's fine. You might not be able to keep your right shoulder on the ground just yet, but that's okay. You'll be able to get there eventually. We're just going to take a couple breaths here. And then we're going to roll back up. Straighten that right leg out. Bring our left knee into our chest. Cross it over. It might be easier for you to see this way. And then try to keep your left shoulder on the ground. And I can totally straighten this leg. And slowly come back to center. Bring both knees into our chest. And then we're going to stretch out and go into corpse pose for just a couple of breaths, Shavasana. And while you're here, I want you just to internalize all the movements that we've made to ignite that little fire. And just see it slowly burning. It's not like a raging flame, it's just like a nice slow burn right in that core area. And while we're here, any thoughts or ideas of unworthiness, we're just going to let them slowly fall into that fire and be consumed so that they no longer affect us. And then from here, you can either roll over onto one side and slowly push yourself up. Sometimes you'll see me like just roll straight up. We're just going to come to a nice easy seated position. Bring our hands to our hearts. Thank you so much for joining me this morning on day 3. Activating our solar plexus, tapping into our self-worth and willpower and persistence. You are worthy of everything and anything your heart desires that your mind can fathom. And you have the skills and the tools and the willpower to bring all of that into fruition. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. See you for day 4. Bye.